Here we go. Good afternoon, Ayakame. How are you doing? Right, it's all streaming. Fantastic. Hey, Daily Gaming, good morning. Last stream for the week. Remember, no stream tomorrow. I was just looking at the something. What was I looking at? I was looking at Forex Factory just then, and I guess I have to be back on Tuesday because stream will resume on Tuesday for sure, because we have the US CPI data to be released. So I'd like to get through that together with you guys. Good morning, Erwin. How are you doing? We'll give it a couple of minutes before we get started. Not very exciting on the dollar index for now, or for yesterday to today. Thank you, Daily Gaming. Hey, Ju Marinas, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Hey, Jimmy. Erwin got chopped up yesterday but managed to recover. It's okay. Getting chopped up sometimes, it's okay. Just not minced and grinded and spilled out. You know what I mean. Alrighty. Tuesday will be nice. Yes. It's going to be a nice long 4-day weekend for me. Alrighty. Okay. One more minute and we shall get started. No big rush today. No big rush. Request of the day is pound Kiwi. Daily Gaming is mixing it up. Pound Kiwi. So okay, well, not something I usually look at. I don't even think I have that chart open, but yeah, I'll do that for you. Hey Christina, thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, let's get started. Again, welcome back to the daily market analysis. For all the new viewers, if you're new to the session, do drop a message and say hi. Let me know where you're joining us from. And the link for the Discord channel is there for you if you haven't already joined us. For all the regulars, I see all the regular names there. Thank you for joining me again for this daily market analysis. I hope that, and you guys were saying that yesterday, but I hope that these daily market analysis are really helping you with your trading journey, your trading performance, even just understanding the markets a little bit better. Okay, if you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to put it into the chat and let me know. You can be like Daily Gaming and ask request for any particular currency pairs you'd like me to look into. If it's not something I regularly look at, I will still do it for you guys. Just put it into the chat and let me know. And in the meantime, you can also click that like and subscribe button to help me out to get more people viewing these live streams and also any videos that might be coming up shortly as well. Okay? Get ready, seated, and let's go. Quick disclaimer, any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. The contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product. So please remember that your objectives, financial situation and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. Hey Lin Lee, how are you doing? Good afternoon. Daily Gaming said daily analysis has made me massively better. I'm so happy that it's been good for you. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else, please feel free, put it into the chat, let me know. that's what kind of motivates me to keep this going for you guys. So if you feel it's good, put it into the chat, let me know, energize me up. But I will keep this going for you guys as well. Okay. Hey Diana, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning, Aisha. How you doing? Hey D-Train, long time no see. Welcome back. Good afternoon. Now, looking at the chart, or looking at the news first, or looking at the charts, I'll show you the dollar index. It hasn't done anything. We said, you know, it was consolidating at that point. We were looking for it to break down or bounce up. It's done neither of that. It's just sat there along this 104 level, trying to figure out what to do next. Okay, so it hasn't done too much, and one of the reasons why it hasn't done too much is because since yesterday, nothing much has happened. Right, nothing much has happened apart from the Kiwi employment numbers, which we spoke about during yesterday's stream. Nothing much has happened. There were some, I hate doing this every session, trying to find the headlines, but there were some comments from Fed members. Fed officials signal wariness to cut rates too soon. That was not the one I was looking for. There we go, that one. Fed Barkin says, I'm waiting to see if this inflation becomes more broad-based. Didn't expect the strength of last jobs report. And I think there was one more that he was saying. There we go. FOMC participants have equal participation, whether the year's voters or not. And I think there was one more. Yeah. Expects, Fed's Neil Kashkari expects only 2 or 3 interest rate cuts this year. Okay, so again, no big surprises. We were watching out for any possible comments here, right, from the Feds, and there was some talk about the interest rate cuts decision timeline, but did not come out too hard, did not come out too, I don't want to say too serious, I would say did not come out to influence the markets too much, and that's why we saw the dollar index sitting right across. One very interesting thing, that as much as the dollar index is sitting right across, you can see that the US yen has been climbing very steadily, right, very steadily to the upside so far over the last 6 hours, up 71 pips already, because of what the Bank of Japan has been coming out to say, that firstly, real interest rates deeply, no, not that one. There was one more. Where was it? I need to make a list of things that I'm starting to read that I can just share it straight across. There we go. BOJ's Uchida rules out big rate hikes after ending negative rates, right? Yield curve control, the YCC, and bond buying management are intertwined, right? And also real interest rates deeply negative, monetary conditions very accommodative. Right, again, no talk about a rate hike decision at this point, kind of subduing the current rumors that they might hike rates in March, and that's why we're seeing the yen push up quite steadily despite the dollar index sitting right across. Okay, so that's one thing to look out for. So today, being Thursday, the 8th of Feb, I see you guys chatting away. Hang on, let me just get back to that. Hey, God knows, how you doing? Hey, Pips Apprentice, good morning. Good morning, KLE. Erwin says it's been a big help. Glad I stumbled on your stream. How did you stumble onto the stream? Let me know as well. I want to find out how to get more people. Pips Apprentice said the poll did something to the pound. Well, a little bit. I don't think it's our poll. I think it was just general market movements. Ayakame said, for me, daily analysis has sharpened my understanding of the market, getting better on fundamentals. Fantastic. I love that. And good morning, Angel Case. How are you doing? And hey, Goju, how are you doing? Hey, OJ Mets, good morning. Alrighty, so today being Thursday the 8th of Feb, we just had a whole bunch of news released early this morning. Again, did not move prices too much. You would try to link that maybe the bank lending year on year going from 3 to 3.1, or the current account for the Japanese going from 1.8 trillion yen to 1.81 trillion, 1.89 to 1.81 trillion has led to that push up on the US yen. It could be, but I think it's more likely because of the comments from BOJ. Right, another one here, that the rate path depends on the economy and inflation. Doesn't think that BOJ has fallen behind the curve. BOJ will not abruptly stop bond purchases, right? So we're not abruptly stop the easing policy, which means bond buying purchases. So that's all the monetary policy view that has led to that steady rise in the dollar yen. With that, in a couple of hours, or just under 2 hours time, we have the ECB economic bulletin. Not to focus on that. Unemployment claims is a weekly number, not looking like a big change from 224 to 221. I don't think it's going to do too much. Barkin is speaking again. Member Mann is from the BOE. Again, I don't think this will do too much in general. Through to Friday, and because we're not going to be doing a stream, again, remember, we're not doing a stream on Friday, so just keep that in mind. So because we're not doing a stream on Friday, let's look at this. Governor Bullock is speaking at the House of Rep in Canberra. Don't think it's going to do too much. Economic Club, that might do something at 1:05 a.m. GMT +8. Members speaking at the Economic Club. Economic Club talks sometimes do bring about quite a big move. 9:30 to end the week, we have the CAD employment numbers. 0.1, 16K, unemployment rate 5.8 to 5.9. Maybe looking at some weakness on the Canadian, but I'm thinking very similar to what happened on the Aussie, is that maybe we might see more people working, or more people looking for work, getting employed. That's why employment change could go from 0.1 to 16, which would also lead to an increase in unemployment rate because there are more people looking for work and maybe unable to find a job. So it might be a little bit of, depends on how big this number is going to be, this actual number on employment change, right? If it comes out at 16 or 20 and that goes to 5.9, then we might see some strength on the Canadian dollar. All right, and again, no stream on Monday as well because the Japanese and the Chinese are on a bank holiday. It is Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, and also there is not a lot of news. We'll be back on Tuesday with a whole bunch of news to be released. Inflation expectations for the Kiwi, claimant count, employment numbers for the pound, and most importantly, the CPI number year on year for the US on Tuesday, which I'll tell you during Tuesday's session. Okay, so last one for the week, and we'll be back on Tuesday next week. In the meantime, don't go crazy. You know that there's not a lot of news to be released, so we're not anticipating. I'm not anticipating huge moves over the next couple of days. Okay, so with that, then looking at the charts. Erwin says, can't remember, I was browsing TradingView streams after getting wrecked by the market in my first month. I don't know why I clicked on the stream specifically, but I'm glad it. Hey, I'm happy you did. I'm very happy you did click on the stream. And for anyone else watching on TradingView, we are still streaming on TradingView as well. Anyone else on TradingView, I hope you found the stream nice and easy. Nurtilu is saying hi. I scalp gold, scalp buy gold TP38. What do you think? Can you give me a bit more info on that? Nurtilu on gold scalp. What's your TP at 38? TP at 38. 38. Yeah, could get there. I do think that we might. I'm jumping ahead of the gun, but I do think that we might see a bit of upside on gold. And hey, buy investors, be investor futures. How are you doing? Good morning. Okay. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. Alrighty. Now back to the dollar index. It is still, so let's take all these away, because since we spoke yesterday, this is where we were. I'll show you. This is where we were yesterday at 3 p.m. Right? It sat there, it pushed down, it sat right there, it pushed up, and it's been trading within this range of, counting even the tails, from 104.13 down to 103.93 and then bouncing back up. If you counted only the bodies, right, only the body of the candles, you'd be like 104.11 to 104. Not a big move. Not a big move at all on the dollar index right now, at exactly the same place as we were through yesterday's session. Because of that, I'm still anticipating a bit of a push to the downside. Okay, just thinking one more thing. 50 is still there, it's sitting there, yes. Okay, so what I'm looking at is, there is that consolidation that we're looking at here, right? We see this consolidation, looking for that breakout to the downside towards this area. So I'll keep that same view. Today being the 8th, I anticipate that a lot of it will be kept quite similar because it hasn't changed at all. And also, I don't think the buyers of on the fundamental side of things has changed. So I anticipate, yes, I do think it's going to come down. So break 104, to be more specific, say, yeah, break 104 to push down break. Now it's consolidating. Right, break 104, could test 103.75 to 103.55 area. So yes, still looking for that downside move on the dollar index. Makes sense so far? Okay. Nitilu, give me more info about the scalp. Yeah, okay, I think I explained that one. Okay, then on to Kiwi dollar. As much as, okay, I'll take that one away. As much as we were thinking, you know, or now we're still thinking of that downside on the dollar index, you can see that it's been sitting right there, right? It's been sitting right there. I'll take that one away for now. It's sitting right at this 61.8 level, and it's, you know, what I'm looking for is it might sit there and bounce around like that, then break out. Okay, and then break out. So this 61 is going to hold it. Looking at the dollar weakness, we're looking at possibly breaking above this trend line. Your stop loss would be 20 pips. Your take profit could be 35 all the way to 50 pips to the upside. I do believe it's going to be very similar to yesterday's analysis. The main thing here is I'm waiting for it to break out of this 61.8 retracement level and also this trend line. Okay, so 6126 or 6125, 20 to 50, 6125, 20 to 50. It's still the same levels that we're looking at there. And then onto the Aussie, very disappointingly, that inverted head and shoulder has not exactly played out entirely. Okay, it's pushed up, it's broke that level, but got held at 50% this morning, right? Aussie dollar pushed up and held at a 50% level, and now sitting in that general consolidation that we're seeing here on the Aussie. Dollar index, I would actually be a bit more cautious on this, right? Dollar index pushing down. Yes, we could see this push to the upside, but if I zoom right out, you see that trend line, right, providing the resistance. So since we're already looking at possibly buying up on the Kiwi dollar, something to consider on an alternate view, if the dollar index does weaken and push the Aussie up to the trend line, I'll be looking for a possible trade back down again. All right, a slightly different view that way, and you see that that would come. No, 61 won't play. Okay, so it breaks above 50. It would push up. I'm looking for that test of that trend line before pushing back down again. Diana says dollar index reached a fair value gap on a weekly and 104.89. Yeah. 104.89 is very far away. Hang on. 104.89 is up there. Unless you mean 103.89. Diana, I think you mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you mean 103.89. About there. So it pushed down to 103.89. If it holds that level, it might go lower. Yep. About there, 103.89, which is this point here to the downside. Yes, I agree. I would be looking for that. So Aussie. Oh, 104.57. Yeah, that it got to that point. Reached that level, caught some liquidity there, pushed down. Okay, yeah, I do think it might be heading lower. I'm just thinking now, looking at the dollar, looking at the Aussie. Push up, sell down, yes. So one view on the Aussie would be something like 6555. So test and reject, 6555, 20 pips stop. You could go all the way down 85 to the downside. Okay, that's what you could look for. Actually, I would revise that. Now thinking about this, what if it does this? What if it does this? Okay, what you could be looking out for as well is, because of this consolidation here, it might push up here and then push back down. Now, okay, sorry, I'm just thinking aloud. I'll still be looking for that push up and then reject to the downside. And with that, then I'll be looking to sell down 6555, stop loss 20, take profit, could go down to 85 to the downside. All right, there we go. Look at the dollar. It's just sitting right there. Doesn't want to do anything at this point. Okay, so Aussie will be looking for a test and reject of trend line. Then we would be looking to sell at 0.6555, stop loss 20, take profit 85 to the downside. All right, so basically what we're thinking is that, again, I drew this yesterday, but possibly that kind of move. Come down the area here, test, and then bounce back up again. So that's why we're looking for that push up, test, reject, and turn back down again. Okay. Now onto the US yen. Look at that. So we were looking at this as, hey, maybe a counter trend trade idea. Could we sell it down? That did not play out. So it just, right, just as we had that, it came down, looked like it was going to break, did not, bounced off. The 38.2 level held very strongly. So now it's bouncing up, it's pushing. Now looking like it's going to break this resistance level of 148 or even 140, almost 148.90. Okay, so what I want to do is look for it to break 148.90. I know this is going to be, or this would be counter the view that we're saying the dollar is going to weaken, but we're seeing the yen weaken even more or even faster. So with this, we got a 30 pip stop loss. You can go 140. I don't think it's going to move 140 like that. So we also do have a level here in the middle at 149.68. About there. I like the nice round number of 149.60. So you could be looking at a 670 pip take profit, 30 pip stop loss, just in that continuation to the upside. Would it make sense to have a trend line here as well, supporting that move up? Yes. So what needs to happen here on the US yen is that it needs to break past that level first, right? It needs to break past that area, 148.90, 30 pip stop loss, 70 pip take profit with potential for further upside as well. Okay, and so we're looking to buy on 148.90, stop loss 30, take profit 70 to the upside on the US yen. But it's at a tricky level here, so just watch out for that point. 38.2 is holding, not ruling out the idea that it could sit there and then break back down. If that happens, then you can also be looking to sell down, but I think that if that happens because of the dollar weakness, there may be many other trades to get into instead of the US yen. So you just have to be super patient at this point, waiting for it to break. Okay. Then onto the pound dollar, like Pip's apprentice said, we ran the poll, might have jinxed it because as much as we voted that it was going to move to the upside, it's set in consolidation. On the scheme of things, in the scheme of things, not a big surprise because of what we saw on the dollar index. So you got held close to that 50% level and then sitting in that consolidation with 61.8 still a good, strong, valid level. So looking at this on the dollar, on the pound dollar, this is just sitting right there. This is making it hard. What's happening here on the dollar index is making it hard because, like we were just saying, you know, it needs to break past this point. Like Diana was highlighting, it's getting to this area here, which it needs to come into, tap, might tap, bounce, and then go back down again. Right, so we're looking for it to do something between these points. So with that, then looking at the pound in that consolidation, what you might actually have here as an opportunity would be And you guys know that two things I hate about when I look at the markets is when it's in a retracement or when it's in a consolidation. Two things I absolutely hate when I'm looking at the markets, because when it's in consolidation like that, it's really either it could break out a consolidation to the upside or break down this way back towards a support. This does give us that opportunity to have a straddle, right? To have a straddle where we could be looking at a short below 1.26. This one will be a bit more conservative, 25. So below 1.26, 25 to 80. All right, and then a long position. I don't want it here because it's going to be a bit too far away. If it breaks out 1.2655, and then that way 25. So we can be looking at that. How I think about a straddle is that I do measure that. I measure the consolidation, rough measurement of the consolidation, and then I tend to put that in place, and I'll say, okay, goes past that point, I'll be looking for that move. So I want it to break out by almost an equal amount of the consolidation before I look for the move. And in this case, I'll be looking at that, which is where it is, and that way. So that's how I measure a straddle and a breakout to try and avoid the false breaks, right? Which one, with this tool, with a straddle in this case, which one do I prefer more? Looking at the dollar, anticipating the downside, I would naturally prefer a breakout to the upside a bit more. And just looking at the pound, you can see that it's right in the middle actually. Good morning, Jamil. Everything happens now. Wow, it looks like nothing's happening now. That's the problem. It's sitting right in the middle of this whole range. Right? It's sitting right in the middle of this whole range, and that's why it's a bit undecided. It really comes down to what's the dollar going to do. I'll look for that. Okay, so perfectly on the weekly open price. Yeah. Yep. Okay, pound, I say possible straddle, right? But I'll be looking to buy from 1.2665, stop loss 30, take profit 100. 65, stop loss 30, take profit 100. Or we're looking to sell at 1.2 below 1.2625 to 80. Right, so 1.26, stop loss 25, take profit 80 to the downside. Okay, there we go. So because we have a straddle, we're looking for either a buy on a breakout to the upside or sell on a breakout to the downside. Jamil says 70% down. Diana says pound considered as an uptrend and can price reverse down unless if news comes. Okay, so that's why it's a bit iffy. It's because there's no major news that we see on the horizon all the way through to Tuesday with the employment numbers. Right, today not much, unless member month says something, but I don't think that's going to do too much. Pound is on that big upward in that in the wide consolidation, so it is considered an uptrend. Can price reverse down? Yes, it could. but I think that this support level here, which we see is the 38.2 area, is likely to hold prices there. So if you want to be more trend following, if you want to be a bit more conservative, what you could also be looking to do is either it breaks out to the upside, then you buy, or look for it to test lower and then look for that bounce on this support, very similar to what happened here. Okay, you might not have to sell it down. If you're not comfortable with that, you could look for the bounce back up. Does that make sense? Aisha asking about the US 100, we can do that. Hey, good morning, Kalinzi, how are you doing? Okay, so I have that, I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy with that. Kiwi is still, everything is still sitting there. Aussie is sitting there. Yen is pushing up but pausing at the moment. Pound is sitting right there. So Daily Gaming was asking for the pound Kiwi. So we just looked at Kiwi, we looked at pound as well. Looking at the pound Kiwi, not something I've ever looked, or I did actually, a long time ago, so take that one away. Sitting at this support level here. Okay, we're sitting at this support level here. We're thinking that if the pound gains strength, as in the pound pushes to the upside, which the Kiwi would also be pushing to the upside, we might see a bit of a conflict here, but at a support and a major resistance and another level here. All right, and testing this level, this move. Oops. We got it at about 50% right there. So Daily Gaming said he bought pound Kiwi. What do I think? I think that if you bought it, I hope it looks something like that. So long as your stop loss is below, your take profit can be way up there, or something like at this point here. Right? I think it's a valid trade so long as your stop loss is below 2.063. Right? If you have your stop loss below 2.0630, I think it's a good setup. It's a valid setup. It's worth the risk. This would be about a 40 pip stop loss, 90 pip take profit. I think it'd be reasonable for that potential push to the upside. If it does break that support, then it's going to be messy because there are many levels lower that it could come down to test. Okay, so if you bought it up, or if you're trying to buy it up, I would say so long as your stop loss is below 2.0630, I think that should be reasonable. Okay, hope I answered your question there, Daily Gaming. Diana says too many wicks up and down on pound. It's too many wicks up and down on a lot of pairs. Look at the dollar index wiki up and down. Kiwi, Aussie as well. Pound especially, and it's consolidative wicks. So just got to be super careful there. Still in that consolidation, I'll still maintain that view. Lindsay, I haven't done euro and gold. We'll get to that. Stop loss at 2.06, take profit 2.08. I think that would be reasonable, Daily Gaming. I think that's fine. Then on to the euro, nothing triggered, so we take those away for now, just to clear up the charts. 38.2 is still holding at this level, right? 38.2 is still holding at this level, still on that big downward move, right? What I mean by the big downward move, that's the move on the on euro. Let me see something. I just noticed something. No, that's fine. Okay. So we've got the points there. We've got the near-term resistance there. I would say that because we've been, we want to cover our bases on. We want to cover our bases on on the possibility of the dollar index. Still very undecided at this point. What we could be looking for here is that if the euro fails to break above this point, I might be tempted to look to sell it down if the dollar strengthens. Right? If the dollar strengthens, I might be looking to sell it down. So what we're looking for is possibly a move like that. Then you would look to sell down, say 1.0775, stop loss 20, take profit 50 to the downside. This is on dollar strength scenario. I might even think a bit lower than that. 1.0770, 25 to 45. I just wanted a little bit more space there. Jamil says euro and pound is the same chart. No, actually it's not, right? Look at the euro here pushing. You can actually see a bit of an upward move over the last, since this morning has actually been pushing a little bit higher. There is a little bit more of a direction compared to pound, where since yesterday it's just been sitting right across. Right, it's been sitting right across. So not exactly the same. And that's why I'm looking at a possible rejection back down. So 1.0770. So euro will be looking to sell at 1.0770. Stop loss 25. Take profit 45. Remember, this was what we were saying yesterday, was we're looking for a reaction along that 1.08 level, which is exactly where we are, about there. So we're looking for that rejection, which looks like it's pushing down now. So watching that closely. Daily Gaming says we anticipate dollar weakness, so I think euro to buy. Yes, it could push up if we see that dollar weakness come. Or look at the dollar on there, right? So that's why I'm covering the bases. We've got pound dollar to buy up, we've got euro to sell down. So either way the dollar index breaks out of to the upside or the downside, we're going to have a possible trade setup. Okay, then on to the US Swiss franc. Take those away. Hedge that one, that's still okay. We don't have another resistance to the upside. Now let's check. So it's broken 50. No need to have 50 there anymore. And we've got 61.8 there. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now we have that. I don't even think we need the fib level here. The main thing we're looking at is, again, looking at the dollars, looking like it's trying to break up. Might be interesting if it does. I don't see how it can be sustained. If the dollar strengthens, this is a good support here we found. Right, if the dollar strengthens, that's going to push up. And actually, if you look at this, we have a bit of a channel that way pushing higher. Right, from that point, these levels here could push up towards the top with a bit of an interim level at about that point there. Right, so we saw what happened here, and that's going there. So I wouldn't want to trade this up, because if I were looking to buy this up, say for example like that, there is a possibility here that it might reverse. And it's only a 30 something pip move to the upside, even to the top it's on 45. Stop loss about 20. That's reasonable. What I would, on the flip side, what I might actually be thinking about is a reversal, right? 8710, stop loss 20, take profit 60 to the downside. Maybe that dollar weakness coming back into play, right? A bit of a push up now. Maybe if it pushes back down, then we could look to sell it back down. So yes, it could trade up within the channel, but I'm looking for a possible reversal back down on the US Swiss franc. So I might be looking to sell down 8710.20 to 60 to the downside. Okay, so sell 0.8710, stop loss 20, take profit 60 to the downside. OJ Matt's asking for US 30. We can do that. So I got US 100 and US 30 to get through today. That's interesting, the way the dollar is pushing right now for no big reason. No big reason on the dollar at this point. Okay. Then onto the US CAD. Take that away. Did not trigger. Broke 38.2. Checking 50, it's right there now. So it might test and bounce off. Again, remember we were talking about tomorrow. CAD employment numbers might see some strength come back on the CAD, which means a bit of a push to the downside, but it's sitting right here in consolidation. How many times have I said consolidation today? How many times have I said consolidation today already? Daily Gaming said, holy moly, look at that dollar candle. It's 12 minutes to the close of the candle, so it might be interesting. Right? Might be interesting, but there is, what am I doing? Okay. There is this level that it needs to break up from. This level that it needs to break up from before we're going to see a more sustained push. And I think if you did that, you realize that that's about that 23.6 level. So not confirmed yet. It could very well do that and then come back down again, just to be annoying. Same like what I did yesterday. Okay, so we watched that for now. CAD in that consolidation, sick of the word already. Pushing up is possible, breaking down as well. It's in that range. Held by 50, yes, held by 50 again. I don't want to be annoying and say you can straddle, but I think that what you could be, just because of that way it's been pushing down, right? I'll be looking at, let me just check one more level. No, too far. Okay, I'll be looking at about 1.3440, stop loss 25, take profit 75 to the downside on dollar weakness scenarios. Okay, so CAD, we're looking to sell down. I forgot what number was. Sell 1. 3440, 25 to 75. 1.3, 1.3440. Stop loss 25. Take profit 75 to the downside. Okay. Then on to gold. Someone was asking about gold. Nutilu was asking about gold scalping up to 38. We need the dollar to weaken to push this up. I added in this trend line. I was on a call with a coaching guy. I added in this trend line as we were looking at it break that trend line, and now that it's broken that trend line together with that 38.2 level, putting the levels in, it's struggling along 50. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is that I don't need 38.2. In fact, I don't need any of this because it's broken 50 already. Did it hold 61? It came close to 61, right? So at that point there. Okay, so now what needs to happen? It looks like gold is going to be stuck in this range. It looks like gold is going to be stuck in this range. Dollar index pushing up, looking at it now, it's going to push down. Main thing is that if gold breaks below 2029, we're going to see it come down towards 2020. Right? We're going to see if it breaks below 2029, we're going to see it come down to this point. And then maybe push back up or whatever it does. But the main thing is what happens at this point of 2029. It could very well do this, like that, back up. Okay, that trend line is done, take that away. So we need to see what happens at this 50 level. For gold, I would say is to watch out for 2029 price level, which is also the 50% Fib retracement level. Okay, there we go. Something needs to happen here. Okay, any other questions so far? Daily Gaming says I'm selling gold right to 2024. I'm a risk taker. 2024, yeah, that's reasonable. I think 2023 even could be possible if it continues to break lower. Okay, so maybe even 2023, I wouldn't rule that out. Disclaimer applies, obviously. Okay, so now on to the US 30. I seem to have cleared out my charts on this. Okay, oh no, I didn't just move that much. Okay, let's clear out the charts. Resistance up here. Big trend line this way. Lindsay says I'm waiting to buy gold as it goes low. Yes, I think I'm always a gold buyer. I scalp it, but on the longer term, I'll be a gold buyer. Sitting in consolidation there. That resistance and that consolidation is quite important on the US 30. You're most welcome there, Kalinzi. And then we have a big support down here. So because of this, I'm not keen on a counter trend on the indices because you know that a lot of the counter is going to bounce right back up. So sit there. It looks like it's going to sit in this area, maybe break out to the downside before pushing back up again. How far could it go? I think that could get to that 38 level. So it could do this and then bounce back up. So sit there, maybe break out and then push back up. So I would be looking to say that if it stays above 38,500, I know it's a little bit far away. Oops, what am I doing? I know it's a little bit far away, but if it stays above, as long as it stays above 38,500, we can see that bounce back up. If it does break out of this level, then I'll zoom right out and show you that we are at very, very high levels, right? Historic levels. So what you have to be extra careful. I would always go to the round number levels. Firstly, 38,900, right? 38,900 there, and then after that 38,900 and then 39,000 there. Right, so I always go to the nice round numbers. If it just sits in that consolidation and then breaks out. So either that retrace and then the push back up to that resistance, or a big breakout. Then on to the US 100. Same, I think we were talking about this during the stream last time round on easy markets. Broke up. I think that as the same thing with the 30. I'm never looking to sell it down. I would say now sitting in a bit of that consolidation, 18,000 would be the next key level. It's most likely going to sit there, get pushed down a little bit before pushing back up again. Okay. Now look at the dollar not doing too much. It's trying to push up, but it's coming back down again. I want it to come down because I think that it's going to give a bit more opportunities to trade it up. Yeah. Okay. So with that said, any further questions? You're most welcome there, Aisha. Hope I answered your question there, OJ Meds. And if you can help me out, please remember to click that like, that thumbs up button on YouTube, the little rocket ship button on TradingView, LinkedIn, click like, share it, YouTube, wait, what was it? Facebook, share it, like it. Wherever you are watching this on, do help me out, click that like and subscribe. Thank you, Jimmy, Gong Si Fa Chai. Thanks, Pips Apprentice. Thanks, Jumarinas. Thank you, Diana. It's going to be a holiday of eating and feasting and drinking. So I might come back looking a little bit heavier. Just be kind, all right, guys? Thank you, OJ Meds. Appreciate that, Kalinzi. Thank you, Erwin. Thanks, Daily Gaming. I'll see you all on Tuesday. Please, please, please trade well, trade safe. Have a fantastic weekend ahead. And for anyone celebrating the Lunar New Year, a happy Chinese New Year, a happy Lunar New Year. Take care now. Bye-bye.